Hello everyone, Charles Watts here. Welcome back to Inside Arsenal. It's Sunday. I hope the day is going well wherever you're watching or listening to this around the world. Thank you for joining me as always. Now, I'm going to start with a quick warning for not all of you, but some of you. Whoever moans, whoever complains, whoever hates it when I talk about Arsenal women, I would suggest this video is not going to be for you, or certainly the first half of this video is not going to be for you, because I'm going to talk about the Arsenal women. Because, oh my word, champions of Europe, what an unbelievable day yesterday. What a performance, what a result, what a team, what a job Rafael Slegers has done. The crowning glory, Arsenal 2 times Champions League winners. No other team in England can say that they've won it once, and Arsenal have won it twice. A quite remarkable day in Lisbon yesterday. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to celebrate it. We will talk about Southampton, where I'm going to be jumping in the car very soon and driving to for Arsenal's final game of the season. Of course, a little bit later on in the show, we'll look at what Mikel Arteta's been saying ahead of that game as well, talking about a big meeting that he's got coming up next week with the Arsenal hierarchy to really sort of put the summer plans into action, all that sort of stuff. But there's no other place to start today than in Lisbon and what the Arsenal women achieved yesterday. Champions of Europe. Just so many amazing images around. You just soak up all the content. It's been flooding out from everyone who's over in Lisbon, all the reporters, all the Arsenal team, obviously, who are over there. Just brilliant content, brilliant pictures, brilliant videos of the women celebrating that remarkable win. No one gave them a chance. I have to admit, I didn't really give them a chance. I know it's football, it's 90-minute game, it's neutral territory, anything can happen. And I said that a lot in the build-up to the game. But I still doubted it would, because Barcelona are so good. I just thought it was going to be a really, really, well, it was just a mountain to climb, basically. But they did it absolutely perfectly. I mean, the two halves were very, very different. Arsenal, I thought, were brilliant. The first half, they couldn't have done any better in terms of how they played, how they took the game to Barcelona, the chances created. The only thing that was missing, and this has been a familiar story when you're talking about Arsenal, any team this season, is they couldn't provide the finish. Had chances, didn't take them. The one time they did get the ball in the net, obviously it was ruled out by VAR for offside correctly. And so it was 0-0 at half-time after a really good performance where they got on the front foot. They took the game to Barcelona. Yes, they had to endure some nervy moments at the other end. Of course they did, but they were going to have to. But still, they took the game to Barcelona. They created the opportunities. Keeper made saves, and you just thought at that point, oh no, are they going to regret this? Because you knew Barcelona were going to come out in the second half and play the game a little bit differently. They were going to dominate more of the ball. They were really going to push Arsenal back. And they did. We saw the real Barcelona in that second half. They were excellent. But they didn't really create too much, despite all of that domination and all of that territory. The women that defended for their lives. Yeah, Leah Williamson, absolute masterclass from her at the back. And they did limit Barcelona very well. They frustrated them. That's what you got to do against this Barcelona team. Stay in the game. Find a way of staying in the game. And they did that because of the sheer will to win and the determination, the blocks they were getting in, the last-ditch challenges they were getting in, the saves that were being made when Barcelona did get through and have a shot. Really good goalkeeping as well. No, they weren't spilling the ball, making any sort of errors and letting Barcelona to get on the rebounds, clean handling, all that sort of stuff. Everything you need to do in your own box or in and around your own box, Arsenal did that yesterday. It was just a fabulous performance in that second half defensively. And that just leaves you the opportunity. The longer you stay in the game, the more you can get an opportunity. I mean, when Russo went through, when she won possession back and went through and drove into the box and had the shot that was saved, I thought at that moment, oh, was that it? Was that the moment, the chance Arsenal were going to have? Only chance Arsenal were going to have to win it in that second half. But it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't. They went on, and shows the quality of having strength in depth and being able to make top quality substitutions. Rafael Slegers throws on Beth Mead and Stina Blackstenius, and of course they combine to get the winning goal, a goal that's going to go down in Arsenal folklore for the rest of history. What a pass, by the way, from Beth Mead. The vision just took Barcelona defenders out of the game with that reverse pass, and brilliant touch from Stina first of all, and then the finish as well. She's done it so many times. When you've got that quality on the bench, you can change games, attacking strength and depth. You've always got a chance. And just absolutely brilliant. The celebrations after, the end of that game, by the way, even after the goal, I just thought Arsenal managed that last 20 minutes so well. Again, Barcelona obviously pushed forward, but Arsenal just kept them at arm's length. It was just really excellent game management for them. And the celebrations afterwards have just been absolutely brilliant. It's impossible. You've got to have a heart of stone not to be touched by the emotion that was coming out of the players. I mean, Leah Williamson, just the story obviously is very well documented, from mascot for the men's team, for the women's team, being a mascot in the 2007 final and then coming through and playing like this. Arsenal through and through, you don't get it. You just see her collapsing at full time, and the celebrations, just absolutely brilliant. So many brilliant stories around, and everyone joining in on celebrations. You've got Alex Scott running on, obviously got the winner in 2007 final. She's coming on, joining in. Wright was out there, of course he was. Brilliant support. Loved that video of him celebrating Stina's goal in the crowd. It was just a fabulous occasion. Absolutely, we should all be so proud of what they've done. You think of the driving force Arsenal have been behind the improvement in the women's game, and in recent years, what they've given, the platform that they've given the women to fill out the Emirates time and time again, to play loads of their games, not just the odd couple now, loads of their games at the Emirates, doing all they can to raise the profile of the women's game in this country. The work that they've put in been so rewarded with this. Yes, they haven't had their hands on WSL for a few seasons, which is really frustrating. Yes, there's been disappointments. I mean, not even qualifying last time out for the Champions League. But it's just all been made up for with this one huge moment that's going all around Europe, being beamed all around Europe. It's fantastic for the club and everyone who's put so much work into it. And I think of, some of my colleagues who I work with who have just put so much effort into raising the profile of the women's game. Tim Stillman, so delighted for Tim being out there to witness that yesterday. Freddie from the Gooner and the Gooner fanzine, Leif, the editor of the Gooner fanzine, who's put so much effort into, producing a women's only Gooner fanzine, doing everything he can to raise a profile, sending people out there, spending the money to put reporters on the ground there covering the women's game, all being rewarded by this. And, that's just absolutely fantastic. It really is. I'm so delighted for them. And what a job Renee Slegers has done, coming in halfway through the season, picking up the pieces after Jonas left, the way she turned things around in the WSL, despite the disappointing end of the season with those last couple of results, to then going on and achieving this, in her first season. It's just unbelievable. And of course, she's so proud afterwards. She says, the people that are here today, the people who have been supporting us all over the world, all the people who have been supporting us at home, I also want to highlight the people that have made this possible. That's the people that started the journey for Arsenal women. There's so much work that's gone into this. I'm very proud to be part of Arsenal. Thank you, everyone who's made this possible to get us to this point. We knew that we had to be really disciplined and with everything we did, not the least in the defensive part of the game and in our positioning in possession, on the ball and the decision making. We had to make decisions constantly all over the pitch. The tempo is really high. Barcelona are such a good team. The decision-making was on such a high level for the players on the pitch, but also the staff working in the background, the analysts in the stadium. I think the decisions have been so good. I think that was key for us to be able to manage the different phases of the game. Everyone played their role. I'm just so happy for all of the players. We got what we went for, and everyone has worked so hard, not only these last 2 weeks, but across the season to get to this point. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, the girls are coming home. I imagine they're coming home today at some point, but they're going to be at the Emirates tomorrow for a trophy lift. There'll be thousands and thousands who have gone there. It's not a parade or anything like that. It's outside the Armory. They'll be upstairs at the top, and the crowd will be down outside the Armory, and there'll be thousands there. It'll be really good. If you can make it, it's bank holiday tomorrow. If you can make it, go there and show the support. I wish I could go, but I've got family stuff on, which I just can't get out of, so I can't go to it. But I was talking to my dad about it yesterday. He's really keen to go up there, and there'll be so many people up there for it. So if you are free tomorrow and you can go down, they deserve to get such a good reception down there for this, because this is a brilliant thing for the club. Absolutely brilliant thing for Arsenal Football Club. I'm so delighted for it, and so are you as well. I'll bring up some of the comments that you guys have sent in. Jordan there says, immense performance from the Arsenal women. To overcome that Barca team was amazing. Little and Williamson were fantastic, and honestly, the whole team was outstanding. Slegers deserves huge credit for the job she has done. An awesome moment for the club, for the players, and for the staff. So happy. Come on, you Gunners. That's from Jordan. Yevon says, hi, Charles. Arsenal are champions of Europe again. Full admiration on our team. Full admiration for Renee. What a job she has done. It's nothing short of remarkable. Going into the final as underdogs, backs against the wall for some periods of the game, but a tactical masterclass by Renee. We all said that in a one-off 90-minute game, we can beat anyone. The girls fully deserve this. I know we always say this, but I hope the men's team and Mikel watched get some inspiration. I hope this gives the ladies the belief and conviction to win the WSL next season. I believe they can and will do it. So happy for guys like Tim Stillman, who have done a lot to raise the awareness of the women's game. They, more than anyone, fully deserve this. Absolutely echo those words here from 100%. Tom says, Arsenal women champions of Europe. What an absolutely fantastic performance. Well done, Renee Slegers. Take a bow. Nathan from USA, Atlanta says, Beth Mead to Stina Blackstenius. And like that, we are Champions League winners. Charles, I share that comment with my brother as we soaked in the joy of winning. His response was, next year it will be our men's turn to have that. Hopefully so. Come on, you Gunners. Mr. Dynamite says, what an amazing achievement by the women's team, especially Renee. She's had a proper fairy tale there. Good for her. AFC Cape Town says, Renee Slegers knows the game. Well done to the ladies, and special one to the two substitutes connecting for the goal. Absolutely. Again, there's your strength in depth off the bench in the attacking options. It's what you need. And yeah, just absolutely brilliant. Congratulations to everyone. If you're in Lisbon, if you're watching this or listening to this on your way home from Lisbon, I hope you've had the most amazing time. I know so many people are out there who said it was just absolutely brilliant. What better city to watch it all in, to have a moment like that than Lisbon? Just one of my favorite places in the world. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Congratulations to the ladies. Unbelievable champions of Europe. Right, let's move on to some of the men's stuff to go on to today. Obviously, we've got the game against Southampton, which, as I said, I'm going to be getting in the car and driving to very, very quickly. I'll be in the press box today, so you will be getting live updates from me, Wi-Fi depending, which you always have to say when you go to these football grounds, because multi-million-pound businesses can't get decent Wi-Fi networks in press boxes. Time and time again, it's always a problem. But anyway, if the Wi-Fi is good, then you will be getting live updates from me. Now, Mikel Arteta has been speaking ahead of the game. Obviously, this was quite interesting. He's talking about a performance review that is going to be starting next week. The Arsenal do. They do it regularly. It's every couple of months that they meet for these performance reviews. It's going to be one next week. Now, Josh Kroenke was over in Lisbon for the Women's Champions League. He was out on the pitch afterwards. Some good pictures of him and Righty and the girls and everyone celebrating. He'll be coming back to London, be taking part in this performance review. Obviously, Andrea Bertrand and everyone like that will be there for them. It's what Mikel said about it. He said, our performance reviews, it goes every 2 months. That is the way we do it. Then we will see next week here with everybody that is involved. We will do everything and that we planned and what actually happened. We'll go through everything we planned and what actually happened. I will take all of that and then I'll go to Spain, somewhere very quiet, and start to go through that with some ideas that I already have, with some learnings that I already took. It's about putting into a plan, into a vision that you can do straight away, immediately, and as quickly as possible, and start to pass it on to all the staff. So everybody's aligned and ready when they walk through that door for the first day of pre-season to go through and pursue the objectives that we have here. When he says he's going off to Spain, he always does that every year. He goes off to his sisters and has a bit of downtime, and then he'll be coming straight back to get to work. It'll be interesting what they talk about in this performance review, how they sit back and sort of assess the season overall. I know there's a lot of frustration amongst the fan base. I'm not sure they will probably share it as well. They will share it, no doubt about it, but I think they'll look at it in more context than a lot of people in terms of exactly what went wrong, why it went wrong. I think the key thing is trying to find out as much as they can about the injury situation and working out what they can do to prevent that next season, because we can't have another season next season like we did this season. That has to be at the forefront of everything they do this summer, is working out just why so many players got injured and what you can do to prevent that, and what Mikel Arteta needs to do to prevent that, because I still think he has to take a long, hard look at himself and how he deals with players. I think we all share that frustration when it comes to Mikel Arteta. So that's going to be absolutely key. But of course, recruitment, getting those deals done early, please, Arsenal, early, like everyone else. Well, not everyone else, but just so important to get those deals done early. So yeah, performance review coming up at Arsenal. Planning for the summer coming up for Arsenal. Get the jobs done after today's game against Southampton. Before we get onto the predicted 11, not too much doing the rounds at the moment in terms of sort of transfers in the last 24 hours. So obviously yesterday we spoke about Benjamin Sesko and all that sort of stuff. I've seen Rafael Leao sort of tentatively, that's the right word, isn't it? Start being linked. Well, I was looking at this and people getting excited. I was getting messages going, "Oh, Rafael Leao, is this true? Is this true?" I was like, where's this come from? It's always really important to source where the sort of original part of the information comes from, original story. And I was looking, it's just not, I couldn't find anything suggesting it was from any sort of real credible source that was going to sort of prick my attention up, if you see what I mean. So I've certainly not heard anything. Look, I love Leao. I think he's fantastic talent and all that, and it'd be very interesting to see Arsenal linked with him and potentially pursue him. But I've not heard anything from anywhere really, certainly from my information, but also, you know, you kind of know when something's credible and when something's not by where it's coming from. And I don't get the sense with Leao that this is something to be too excited about. You know, I'm certainly not going to get too excited about it at this point. It's just not really something that I imagine has got much legitimacy to it at this point. But you never know. We'll see if anything progresses in the next week or so. But apart from Leao, it's all been fairly quiet in terms of Arsenal transfer links in the last 24 hours or so. Obviously, lots of attention on today's game. That is where Arsenal's sole attention is at the moment. And then everything, once today's out of the way, you can really start to focus on the summer window as a club. Now, I've put together my predicted 11 for today's game. I've been sort of mulling over what Mikel might do, how he might approach this. And I just keep coming back to the thing. I just think he's going to go as strong as possible. It's Mikel Arteta at the end of the day. I'm not sure he's going to do too much. You know, I've talked about, you know, could Kieran Tierney come in and get a start in his final game? I'd like to see that. I don't think he will. I think will go, you know, pretty much as strong as he possibly can. So this is my predicted 11 for today's game. Raya in goal, White at right back. Obviously, we know there's Duran Timber. I think we'll see the Kivior Calafiori partnership as well. Obviously, no William Saliba. He's out injured. Gabriel not back fit yet. So I think the centre-back partnership picks itself, especially as they played so well together against Newcastle. I thought they were excellent. Interested to watch Calafiori from the start in his more natural position today as well. So Kivior Calafiori is a centre-back. So I'm going Lewis Skelly at left-back, despite my hopes that we might see Kieran Tierney given a bit of a send-off. I think we will see Tierney during the game, but I think we'll see Lewis Skelly start the game. I'm then going Partey, Rice and Odegaard in midfield. Saka, Marino, Martinelli. I was wondering if Trossard might go with Trossard, but I think he'll probably go with Marino again. So that's my predicted 11. Remember, that's not the 11 that I would necessarily choose. It's my predicted 11. It's what I think Arteta will go for. So Raya, White, Kivior, Calafiori, Lewis Skelly, Partey, Odegaard, Rice, Saka, Marino, and Martinelli. Yeah, I just think he's going to go pretty strong. I had this message from Aaron. Says, "Hey Charles, the last game of the season lineup. Throw in some youth players who contributed on the bench and training a lot this season. Oyedeji, Gower, Francis, Rosiak, Cabia. These type of players all deserve minutes. They should have gone out on loan, but didn't. Whether it's down to poor loan management or injuries to first team players, whatever the case, we literally secured second spot in the league. So it's time for new faces to shine and give them a proper farewell as well. So your 11s: Raya, Rosiak, Kakuri, Kivior, Skelly, or Francis, Rice, Zinchenko, Sterling, Oyedeji, and Wanyeri. There is no chance he's going to do that, Aaron. Absolutely no chance. I will eat my computer if I turn up at St Mary's today and see a lineup like that. He just won't do it. It's not in Mikel Arteta's nature to do that. You know, some of those players are going to be going in the summer as well. You know, Oyedeji, players like that are going to be leaving. They're being released. So it's just not going to happen. I cannot see it. I mean, Raya's got the Golden Glove to play for here, and you know, Mikel Arteta will take that seriously. He wants his team his goalkeeper to win the Golden Glove. He wants his team to be known as the best defensive side in the country. He's just not going to throw all the kids in. Some might be on the bench. You never know. They might get some minutes at the end, but he's never doing that from the start. I just do not see it at all. He will go strong. I'm sure he will go absolutely strong. And that it's nice to be in a position where we can sort of sit back today and not worry about what's going on elsewhere. I've got a mate, Aston Villa, Bernie. I was going to say, if you're watching, I know you're not watching. But anyway, my mate Bernie, big Aston Villa fan. And he's on the WhatsApp in our football group already talking about the nervousness he's got for today. And other people are going to be sharing that. You've got Newcastle, Man City, obviously everyone, Chelsea, all fighting out Forest. That game at City Ground, Forest versus Chelsea, so much riding on that. It's just going to be nice to sit back, kind of watch the craziness unfold to see who does get the Champions League spots. I'm very, very glad we are not in that situation today, and we can be pretty calm about what we see at St Mary's. And that's about it for today, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. As always, I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be down at St Mary's in a few hours' time, so you can get live updates from me on social media. I will do video afterwards, summing up the game, giving my player ratings as usual. So keep your eyes peeled for that a little bit later on. Until then, enjoy the day, everyone. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.